Hello, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your Maker 2199 bringing you guys another commentary. Now, this is the very first placement match for Season 4 that I played, and I'm not gonna lie, how I am a little bit rusty, but I've had some really good teammates. Like I mentioned on my other video, I have yet to lose a match, and look at how much I'm missing. Now, do believe me when I tell you that that is the very first shotgun battle I've had since like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And thanks to this guy that he gave me the boom, like that guy was playing pretty good. He's part of the reason why we won, and yes, I did that on purpose. I knew I was as good as dead. If I didn't kill that guy, the other bitch was gonna kill me from behind, and if I killed the other chick, I was still gonna explode anyways. So might as well get rid of the guy on the hill, make him panic a little, hopefully, and play those mental games and try to get the win here. But as you guys can see, I am a little bit rusty. I pick it up as the game goes by, and just keep tuned. It is a pretty good game. Like, what a way to come back on my first game, if I don't say so myself. Now, I don't have to give myself that much credit because I didn't do 100% what I should have done, I guess, for a comeback. I had really good teammates, and that's what made this comeback possible. Without these teammates, I wouldn't have made this comeback possible. But right there, I'm showing some promising, moves by winning a shotgun battle that I basically had technically lost. I showed some really great strafing moves right there and was able to get the upper hand. But this is not going to be a play-by-play commentary. This is going to be, and right there I pressed it a little too soon. I could have killed that Queen Mira, but no, right? So it's not a play-by-play commentary. I am trying to share a few more, I guess, things that I have lived or whatever, things that I've done recently that when I was in uploading, and one of them is, look at this strafe. That was so dumb. I really stole the kill, but it didn't really matter. These guys were down with it. They stole a few of my kills as well as the game progresses, so it kind of balances out, and I don't really care if they steal my kill or I steal their kill, as long as the motherfucker dies and we win the match. That's basically what I'm after, right? So I been working quite a bit. We knew we were gonna have some time off for the tournament, and usually when we ask time off for our store, because we are pretty short-handed, we get some really long days before they allow us to take the time off and recover. The people that haven't been going or whatever, putting them on the longer shift to take care of VARs and stuff like that. We had a few customers that were a little bit, on the crazy side. And just FYI, like, if you guys didn't know, I do work in an outdoor store. I've said it plenty of times. I work retail. And I've always hated working retail. I work retail quite a bit, and it's a love-hate relationship. Some days they're awesome, they're amazing. Some customers are just, the shit. They're awesome to talk to. It's awesome to help them out. It's awesome to teach them some new things or to learn new things from them as well. And other customers are just a pain on the ass, and they make your life a living hell for absolutely no reason. And it's just retarded because, like, it makes you feel like you sometimes like, why am I here working, trying to take care of this pain on the ass when I could be, doing something else with my time. But other than that, we had this customer the other day. Let's get into the story. Let's just fucking jump into it, because if not, I'm gonna drag too long. This is a pretty long video, but let's not drag on it, because I do have other things that I want to talk about. If it's not on this video, it'll come out on the next one, hopefully. But we had this customer the other day, comes in, and we have our own lingo for work. I'm sure some of you guys do as well, and he asked a really like direct question, and I understand what he meant, but that, because I'm at work, like when we talk to each other and some of our customers that are familiar with us and are here like almost every other day or every day at our store and stuff like that, they know some of our lingo, they know what's going on, and they are able to talk just as they are a part of the family, which they are, but they talk like they're one of us, one of the employees talking to each other and stuff like that with us, which is pretty cool, don't get me wrong. So we had this customer, and when we say that somebody is off, we don't mean that he's off the clock necessarily, like, oh, he's at lunch or whatever. When we say this person is off, we mean that that person did not get a shift that day. It was his day off, right? Just this guy's off, short for a day off. Um, and I think that is pretty universal. I've said that on a few other jobs to, uh, refer to that person not working that day. So the other day I had a customer that came in and he asked me, "Is this guy off?" And I told him no, he was there. He was actually working when I had come in, and I told him he either went to lunch or his shift ended, and I told him I don't know which one it is, but he was here earlier, and I told him I apologize that I don't know his schedule or whatever he's doing. We don't know it, and I cannot check it unless he tells me. And we didn't communicate at what time who was leaving or anything like that, because we don't do that every time. We just worry about our business, right? And whenever somebody leaves, we usually notice it. If it's been, we only get an hour lunch at the most, or half an hour. So if it's been beyond an hour, it's common sense that the guy took off, right? He's already off the clock. He left home. So I told him he's been gone about an hour. So if he's coming back, he should be back within the next 10 or 15 minutes, right? So I tell him within 10 or 15 minutes, he should be back. If he doesn't come back within 10 or 15, he went home already. And then he got all mad, all butthurt, and in front of all of my colleagues, he tried to make me look like an ass. And it was just funny to me because none of us understood what he meant at first when he said, "Oh, is this guy off?" And I told him no, and he re-asked again, and I re-explained to him, no, he is not off. He's either here at lunch, right, or he is already gone. His shift ended, he went home. Like, we didn't communicate it. We don't have to communicate it, actually. That is just between us. Me and my manager just know our shift. If we communicate it to somebody else, that is between me and that other person. That doesn't mean that I come in and tell everybody my shift, right? But our managers do know our shifts. They know when we should be there, when we should be at lunch and stuff like that. They're the only ones that should know. We do have a bit of communication on our departments and stuff like that, where we tell each other, okay, I'm going to lunch, I'm going to do this. That way, look at that miss. That way, we don't all take the lunch at the same time and then we get in trouble and stuff like that. But we don't really have to communicate too much on it because our manager will let us know when it's time to go to lunch. He'll let us know when somebody's at lunch and stuff like that, because we have to call it out. We have to call them and be like, hey, I'm about to go take my lunch, and they'll be like, oh no, this person's out at lunch or whatever for so many extra minutes, just wait. And that is basically it, right? So I re-explained the situation to the guy, and the guy continued to be, just a pain on the ass. And he went through, I'm gonna say grammar, I don't know if it would be grammar, but he went through a whole college education course on why it is that I was wrong and he was right, and why him saying that being off was the right thing for him to say, and how stupid I was and stuff like that. And me being the person that I am, I am the type of person that I always try to be a better person than the rest of them. And when we have issues and stuff like that at work or with customers, I always tell people always tell me, how come you don't get mad at them, or you don't do this? Because some of our managers and stuff like that will kick people out of the store if they're being just ridiculous and not buying anything and just being a total pain on the ass. And also, if you're stealing and being a pain on the ass, we've had a few people, believe it or not, that stole. Everybody knew, and they were being a pain on the ass, which was incredible. Like, if you're stealing and doing something illegal, you gotta be like the nicest person on earth. Or we will call, whoever we have to call so quick, it won't even be funny. But, that's a conversation for another time. So, the guy was being a total pain on the ass. He gives me this entire lecture on why he's right, why I'm wrong, why whatever. And at the end of the day, he just left, and everybody was like, how come you didn't tell him anything, or get upset or anything like that, or just kick him out of the department? And I'm like, well, one, I always try to be the better person, and if I behave the same way as this jackass is behaving, am I really the better person? You know, and at the end, the older guy, because he was an older guy, he left, you know, kind of looking pretty dumb. He looked like a moron. I'm not gonna say any more than that, but he did look pretty silly. He looked pretty stupid, and he felt pretty stupid. I can tell because he tried to be way too smart for his own good, which was a little bit funny for me. And he just left it alone, walked away, and left the store. But the guy bought absolutely nothing, jack stuff. So when we get customers like that, we really don't pay attention to them, and at a certain degree, I just ignored him. I let him say what he was gonna say, and I just said, "Oh yes, sir," and then I just walked away, and the guy walked away feeling pretty dumb, and we were all just laughing, having a great time. Like stuff like that is not really gonna bring me down. I don't know why people do that silly crap, but some of them do, and it is a bit frustrating. I'm not gonna say that it isn't, but oh well, you know, it is what it is. It happens, and they're not the first customer to do something like that, and they're not gonna be the last one. We had quite a few customers that have done stuff like that. So the other day, just in case you guys didn't know some things about fishing, there are so many different rigs that you can use, so many different techniques, and most of them are pretty darn similar, if not the same. And people in different states or different parts of the world have a different name for the same thing. And I remember I was there, and a guy was asking for something in particular, and I told him, "No, we don't have this, sir." I apologize, and I showed him some alternatives. I told him I don't have that, but I do have some alternatives that are similar to what you are looking for. He asked me to show them to him, so I go show him the alternatives, and then he makes this big deal and fuzz on how he is surprised that people that work on this department and stuff like that don't know anything about fishing and whatever. Goes off on like a tangent, and I should be more like some of my outfitter friends. Like some of my colleagues would just walk away and just tell the manager, like, I walked away from this guy. I'm pretty sure he's gonna come back and complain, but he did this, and this is what I did, or whatever. And this is what I said, and that is that. Believe it or not, managers will usually have our backs, even if we do something dumb. Management is, if you have good managers, they'll take care of their own. And I'm not saying that we're trying to wrong the customer or anything like that, but when the customer tries to wrong us and make us look bad, we have to do things to protect our own. We have had a few customers that got so upset that try to fire some people that I've known and stuff like that. They try to really talk to management and try to see if they can do everything to convince management to let them go. And that is just such a low blow. Like, really? Are you that low? You know, like, I don't even have words. I'm just gonna save it because I don't want to do like an angry commentary here. But for people like that, like, really, you are the lowest of the low, my good friend. You don't do shit like that. Like, this, people have bills and stuff to pay, not because they couldn't please you. Like, I'm not there to please you. That's what you need to understand. I respond to my management team because they're the ones that pay my bills and stuff like that. They're the ones that give me hours, unless I'm doing something that's really screwing up, and that's the issue, right? But I've never done anything wrong to a customer or anything like that, and we've always fixed anything that went wrong with any customer that we had, even if they were being a pain, except for the ones that we caught stealing, right? But yeah, just keep that in mind. I don't know why people come in and try to give us a hard time. Like, we don't have to listen to you. Like, that is the funny thing to me, when people think they can come in, be jackasses just because, oh, you work for me, and I'm like, I kind of don't. You know, like, I don't remember you being the owner or the manager or whatever of this. Look at this chick just popping a squat of this, you know, store that I work for, and you paying and signing my checks. So as long as you don't even come with your crap, because we will have none of it. But anyways, we had some of these freaking frustrating customers. We had a lot of customers complain that our store doesn't carry what we should, that other stores carry more stuff. And one of the things that I really hate about customers is when they complain. Like, I live so far from the ocean, it is ridiculous when they complain that we don't have any, you know, saltwater stuff, and we live so far away from so many, you know, geographical areas that we don't carry that sort of, you know, equipment. We don't carry camping and stuff like that for the Arctic. We live so far away from the Arctic. We live so far away from the sea. We don't carry any fishing stuff for sea. If you guys are gonna go sea fishing, I mean, you can always order that shit online. And we tell our customers, like, order it online, it'll be free shipping to the store. If you go beyond a certain point, it'll be free shipping to your house, right? So, and they get so mad because they have to do an online order. It's like ridiculous. Like, they rage because they have to order it online. Like, I wanted to buy it here on the store, and I'm like, dude, our store isn't that big, and we only have a limited amount of inventory that fits. Like, we do what we can. So, I don't know, it just gets frustrating when we get people that think that they own the place, that think that they own us. And I'm like, dude, like, relax, like, take a chill pill. You know, I don't know, it's just silly, ridiculous, and hopefully it's something that, you know, we don't have to, luckily for us, we don't encounter it that often. But, you know, the main purpose is, if you are one of these guys that give people, like, in retail and stuff like that, I don't care what retail it is, a hard time, like, just know that we don't know everything about everything. I've gotten some people that gave me a hard time because there was a few products that I haven't personally tested out or knew about. I knew what they were, I knew what they did, I just never used them personally, and they were pretty upset because of that. And I'm like, dude, I only have a limited budget. I don't do that sort of fishing to begin with. Like, I cannot test everything out. And some of them do complain, I believe it or not. Some of them have asked, did you guys have to take like a quiz or a test to be able to work here? And I'm like, yeah, we did, believe it or not, we did. And I passed it with flying colors. So don't think that I don't know about fishing, but I am not a vendor. I am not a representative of a company. And when people ask me to talk about a company and represent them as a vendor, it is pretty darn difficult to do if I am not one of them. Like, I do not live and breathe their products. Only the vendors do that. And when our vendors are there, they'll take care of the customer. If a customer has a complaint, they're the ones that know most about the product. Like, for me, it's mostly just customer service, pointing people into the right directions, giving a few tips. It's not my job to basically know everything about everything. And some people get mad because of that. And I'm like, dude, do you know how many fishing products we got? We got thousands. I mean, like 50 or 60,000, you know, different products on our freaking section. Like, I really cannot know every freaking thing. Like, I know the basics on them, I know what they do, I know what they are. I've never used all of them. Like, imagine how expensive that would be. I cannot talk about all of them either because I really don't know exactly how everything works. Everything has its own unique function and stuff like that. And there's some types of fishing that we don't do. Like, they're accessible to the area, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna do that type of fishing or whatever, you know, or use those freaking techniques. But anyways, like, it is just ridiculous when some of these people like expect too much from us. Like, you gotta know everything, you gotta know this, you gotta know that, and they get butthurt, or they ask you something, they use some fishing lingo that you didn't know because you're not from, you know, whatever state they came from, and then they're pissed off because you know nothing about what they want and you can't help them out. And it's like, okay, dude, like, if you want to take care of yourself, like, take care of yourself. Like, don't even ask for help. But I'm not the one that came up, you know, asking questions. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Some people just come in, I guess. They have a bad day or whatever. They come in and try to take it out on employees. And if you guys do that, watch this fail. But if you guys do that, you know, it's really unfair for the people or the employee that you're doing it to. The only reason that we behave the way we do is because we don't want to lose our job, right? That's pretty much it. And it's not because we cannot tell customers to, you know, fuck off or whatever. It's just that I don't want to lose my job. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You know, don't be a pain on the ass. Know that there is more to our job than just customer service. There's a lot more shit that we have to do. Customer service is just a part of what we do. And I just want you all to keep, you know, that sort of stuff in mind. And hopefully, I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully, you guys are not somebody or whatever, people that do that. Really, really bad behavior. Don't give people a hard time. Really, like they're working. You don't know what how bad their day might must have been at work or whatever, and for you guys just to go take it on them or whatever really doesn't cut it. Like do your homework before you go purchase a product. Like really, be a little bit smarter. Thank you. Bye.